Okay, welcome everybody. We're here for the Stacks Governance Working Group, call 57, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and yeah, we're back from the turn of the cycle, the year, and yeah, I'm glad we could be here together. Happy to see y'all. We'll let other folks file in here today, but yeah, we can get right into stand-ups and what we've been up to. Hope everybody's been good. Good to see you, Juliet. Um, but yeah, I guess I'll start with stand-ups. Um, uh, yeah, so I guess since the last time we saw each other, um, there's been some work from myself on the code of conduct for the advocates, and Juliet's been doing some work as well, trying to reach out to other folks, helping me with some of the wording for some of the indigenous approaches we're trying to build into the code of conduct and some of the advocates work and the research lab work that we're doing. We had one of, I guess could be like a, seen as a practice go at the fireside with the Longhouse, just because the turnout, we knew we wouldn't be able to do so much with the holidays. I think it was the 23rd that we had it, but it was nonetheless a good session, a good intro to some of the indigenous modes that we're trying to employ for governance and organization. And yeah, we should maybe get a little bit more details on that later in the meeting. And yeah, let's see, I know Haas has been doing a lot of work in terms of getting together an onboarding process for the advocates, for getting together a bot through Policy Kit, one of the tools that we're working with, so that when folks get into the Discord, there's pretty much this interaction or interview like process that happens for the people, making sure that they have everything they need, like a BNS name and whatnot, to get started and know how to get started in the advocates program. So I've been real excited to see Haas get all of that work done over the last few weeks. I know he's been thinking about it for some time now, in terms of in a lot of ways alleviating himself from a lot of the hassle of bringing folks on board and kind of distributing it across a team of folks that can come in and very easily take over the interview process without much added effort. The bot taking care of a lot of it. So yeah, that's I guess some good updates from my end. Over the next few weeks, well, I guess I could touch on a little bit of, we had some good meetings happening over the last few weeks now, pretty consistently with some of the folks interested in the advocates around task creation or what could be like bounty-like structures or models that we can use, but trying to broaden the incentives past just monetary incentives and find ways of organizing folks with some of the tools we're using, without folks getting left behind in projects and whatnot. But we can get more into that detail later maybe as well. But yeah, over the next few weeks, hopefully there'll be some good sessions on governance with the advocates, some good continued sessions on what we're calling journeys for task creations. And we'll have more eyes on the code of conduct, get that more refined. But yeah, that'll be all from me. I'll pass it to whoever wants to share anything.
I'll go.
Beautiful.
Happy New Year, everyone. Let's see, I've been working on the Stacks Advocates Code of Conduct, doing the editing and working with Harold on that. And had a meeting today with Luis, and he's going to take a look at it and give us some comments, and then we should have it ready to go, maybe a few passes by all of us in the group to take a, and in the advocates organization to take a look at it, and then we'll get it up on the GitHub and it'll be ready to go. So that's what's been happening. The next steps for me are to go to the actual Stacks Code of Conduct and get that set up for a SIP. And yeah, that's what's happening for me.
Thank you kindly, Juliet. No, thank you kindly for all the work on conduct for the advocates. Been a big help with all the editing and I was happy to see that you're meeting with Lewis today, and happy to see, or excited to see what how we can help with getting the language a little bit more accessible for folks in some of the parts I've contributed to anyway. But yeah, anybody else have any shares for us? Thank you kindly, Juliet. It's fine if we don't have any stand-ups now. We'll have plenty of time for discussion and whatnot if folks have something that pops in their head there or unavailable now. But feel free to interrupt at any point. We can get into foundation updates, I guess, if we have anything from yourself, Jude or Juliet, any insights that you guys might have here. Not sure if there's anything new. See. I know that, yeah.
No, I was just saying nothing from my end. That's all.
Okay. No, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I know, Julie, last thing I remember around some of this was Jenny getting back into recruiting, if I'm not mistaken, for some cab work, unless I'm conflating that with something else.
No, I think that was, yeah, I think that was, she was going to be recruiting more people into the different cabs. I think also ethics and don't have it on the top of my head right now, but yeah, I know she mentioned that before the holidays.
Yeah, and maybe if I'm not mistaken, I vaguely remember something about those of us who were already working on cabs being of help in terms of guiding folks into any of these new ones that Jenny has on mind, or the recruiting efforts Jenny has on mind. So yeah, I think that's where we left off with that. But we can move on to action items. If I'm not mistaken, I know Jason added something here around some work that he'd been thinking about for a while, in terms of incorporating the logos that we had finally made a decision on in the GitHub here, and I think he's started to incorporate it into some of the work for the repo and some clarity, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, he's talking about color schemes and things like this. So yeah, that's not too much there. Let me see. Oh, here's the recruiting SIP working group members that we were speaking of here that I believe Jenny will get back to us on. Yeah, I guess there could be some good inroads for journeys there for advocates. Let's see. You touched a little bit more on this, Juliet, I guess, bringing us back to some code of conduct work with Stacks. You said you were going to be getting it back to that after catching up the advocates code of conduct, right?
Exactly. So, and putting it in line for going through any new comments and then incorporating any changes, setting it up so we can put it in line for a SIP. So that's my next task.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you kindly, Julia, for all this code of conduct work. I know it could be fairly overwhelming with all the edits and whatnot. Yeah, if there's any questions there from anybody here, I know Dan and Merrick guys usually aren't with us. Feel free to jump in and ask us anything about some of this work going on. So yeah, we have Stacks decision-making testing here. Myself and Haz are study working on a consensus spec, a consensus flow spec is what we're calling it. I guess I could put that in here somewhere as an update, but it's coming along in terms of spelling out exactly how we want to use this different tool of Policy Kit that will allow us to organize on this three-tiered clan system, for different governance meetings and whatnot, and hopefully there can be some time triggers that allow for, you know, global syncing across time zones. Myself and Haas even started to discuss a little bit, you know, what could be the ins and outs of participation, how different they can be in terms of folks able to meet real time, other folks maybe participating just in you know, following threads that are important, and but finding ways to amplify or make sure it's built into these different policies that important decisions are being made accessible, and the processes for those important decisions are being made accessible across participants and advocates, or, you know, broader ecosystem. Some of the things that we're working on in that consensus flow doc, and yeah, we're trying to get it. You know, a lot of the language was mine, so Haas has been reorganizing it into something that could be turned into something that's actually technical, makes sense technically. And there's some the sessions that I mentioned in the stand-up about governance that hopefully we can pair with some of the consistent sessions we've been having with the advocates, and some good dialogue can help us with some of the implementation of that of those tools coming up to kind of facilitate interdisciplined task creation, or interdisciplined you know, groups of people working together across these different projects that are important, like some of the work that Jason wanted to get done, some of the work that you know, we mentioned might be good work for advocates in terms of SIP recruiting SIP working group members. So all of these things are interesting when it comes to not just decision making, but some of the similar tools that we're using for decision making crossing over into you know, task creation type of models. But yeah, I'll shut up now. And yeah, I guess this is some of the work that we saw in this Doxify thing coming in, finally getting done from Jason. I know he's happy about getting through some of that. And I think some of this is some domain stuff Jason has been pointing to for a while now, domain stuff around the GitHub, make it easier for people. But yeah, let's get to discussion items, I guess. Hopefully we can get into some dialogue with each other. Yeah, so here's a governance lab initiative. I gave some updates there. I know that in the Discord, there's a Notion link that Ryder gave to us that I know, oh, here it is, that folks can keep up with a Kanban board of what we're doing in the Gov Lab. So yeah, I mentioned some stuff with advocates there. I mentioned some sessions that we hope to have. I don't know if there's any questions here, Dan, Merrick, if you guys have any questions about how to get involved in some of that or not, but it's pretty much open, right? Anybody who wants to get involved with this governance lab stuff, just come right in, and you know, whatever you're interested in, we can get going. Let's see. You know, yeah. Somebody's, yeah.
I actually have an unrelated question. Is now the right time to ask?
No, please. I guess it's open. It's a discussion time.
About source cred and like the is there a way to see like source cred, I guess not rankings, but like its calculations and everything in real time?
So like
word that's like continuously updated or something, or
yeah, there's an Explorer like page for folks. It's probably buried in here now somewhere. That it shows you know, your different cred scores, your different grain accounts and things like this. Is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about actual like real time what's happening with the algorithm of source cred?
well, just I guess like a dashboard that's like showing kind of the current status or something like that for everybody.
Yes, there is.
The right word, or just, you know, score or whatever we're calling it.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, there is that. Let me see if I can get to where Haas may have dropped it in recent times, a
Yeah.
link to that.
do something
And
about those mentions.
what was that?
We need to do something about those mentions.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, thank you kindly for asking about that. Maybe I can get to you in the chat here, um, because there is a nice dashboard, and part of that is hopefully what we can change too. SourceCred's going to be changing their algorithm pretty soon, and but also they want to change the UI for what the cred score, what this cred scores actually look like, away from like a leaderboard type of thing, which is what they have in the dashboard, and towards something that can make visible the flows of value a little bit easier, as opposed to a conventional leaderboard. But let me see if I can get this for you easily. But no, yeah. Was in the Notion at one point as well. But yeah, thank you kindly, Dan.
Sorry if that was previously shared. I hadn't seen it. I was just curious.
No,
Is
no.
is there a governance DAO website? I don't even know that.
Actually, that was something that right before break, Jenny was talking about doing a soft launch for uh, the advocates and governance lab work that kind of dovetails with advocates work, and have a landing page included in like what is a soft launch. I guess the bigger launch was going to be SourceCred partnership and with Stacks, and the grants are attached to it, but included it was going to be a soft launch around advocates and some of the GovLab work. And I know Jenny was thinking about helping us out with the landing page for that. But and in that same conversation, Ryder had mentioned getting together some kind of website in the meantime that can kind of walk folks through exactly what's going on in advocates. Something like GitHub pages or something like this for in the meantime. So yeah, that should be on the way soon as well. And probably include that link that you're mentioning. But yeah, also with the changes to SourceCred coming up soon, and the changes to that particular dashboard that we want to make away from leaderboards, will hopefully be included too by then, or it can be included soon after. Because yeah, the leaderboard can be potentially worrying in some ways, right? Folks get used to it. But yeah, still looking for this here. Let me get back to share my screen for y'all. All right. So yeah, no, thank you kindly for interrupting, Dan. Yeah, we can go into, let's see, I know Jason was asking about meeting notes cleanup. I mentioned this in advocate to some advocates. I got a little bit response, but no direct DMs yet. But again, this looks like something that could be good work for folks looking for ways to contribute in the advocates program. So I'll try to amplify that again and see if I get any more responses. I also want to help Jason with that myself. But yeah, there's that. I don't know if anybody has any questions there or any suggestions for meeting notes cleanup. I know Jason has been working hard at maintaining this repo and organizing things for us nicely here up until now. So I want to keep that going for him. Yeah, if there's no questions there. There's a link update here around documentation of construction and building efforts that are going on with the indigenous group that we're working with. And we'll be building this into some of the governance lab work as well, in terms of, how you attach, digital fabrication tools and the like into models, blockchain-based models. So there's some nice documentation of the architects that are, learning sustainable architecture and things like this while helping us with this project. It's pretty interesting. If anybody's interested. But yeah, moving on from there, I think that this is some backlog stuff around some of that continue discussion around helping Jason with maintenance here. You have some update here around the fire chat. Like I said, we had a practice go that I try to give some updates for. I'll probably get a recording in for you guys here, or at least some blurbs of recordings around some good dialogue that happened with the longhouse there. But yeah, we can open it up for general discussion, and as I look for that link for you, Dan, still before, unless there's anything else we want to discuss here that we missed. But yeah, I'll let you guys have the rest of your morning back if we don't have much else.
Cool. Thanks. Sorry, I didn't know there was a general discussion coming up. I thought that was a general discussion. Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's fine. It wasn't much to hear there, so it kind of was already.
Thanks a lot.
No, thank you guys for making it. It's good to see y'all as well. And yeah, I'll get some updates on my end into that GitHub, and yeah, if there's not any general governance, which I'm always down for getting into. Kind of wanted to start building that into these sessions a little bit, just some open dialogue between folks that are, passionate about governance, which is fairly rare to find. Yeah, you guys have the rest of the day if we can stop here.
Well, thank you, Connie, for orchestrating this. And I'll drop out. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for running it.
No, thank you kindly, Merrick, Drew. Good to see y'all. Good to see you too, Juliet. Thank you kindly for coming and all the updates.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, see you soon.
See y'all later.
All right.